What is up, ladies and gents? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Sparza, coming to you live with another installment of Running the Gauntlet. Why am I smiling while I talk? Well, hopefully you didn't hear what I heard. If you did, I've probably screwed up somewhere. But our guest today has a certain, I will say an angelic voice. But I will also say he has probably had to ingest more Grappling Hour content than any other human in existence. So if anybody knows that there would be a theme song to the show, it would be Bryan Peterson. So Bryan, what were the words that you put on as the theme song, like main lyrics?
I'm surprised more people don't know about this, honestly. If you really get into the Grappling Hour meta, you start to find the little hidden gems we drop in. But everyone knows on that second hook, it goes like, oh, Grappling Hour, it's the time, go back to the hour. And then for this one, it's you add RTG in there, and that rounds the whole thing out. It changes for every show.
I'm astounded that you have broken the science down to that much. But for me, when I see such creativity, I don't want to get in its way. I just said, like, listen, Bryan, you know more than I do on this. So if there were lyrics to this theme song that we put up, by all means. I think most people are pissed that most situational comedies don't have lyrics that tell you what the deal is for the show. So I feel like maybe that's something we need to remedy.
It's the media literacy of the entire populace has gone down. I think it's time to kind of bring back that Greek chorus of, just kind of telling the audience exactly what's going on as things are progressing. I think it's definitely going to help out with, ADCC and CJI coming up to have someone there kind of, guys, you should clap for that one. That one, yep, that was good.
Listen, dude, I can get continuously nervous about the idea that these two people are going up against each other in about 6 weeks time now, like less than 6 weeks away from it. Now that we're in July, those August dates start to become way more of a reality. So super nervous here on my side. I do want to bring up something, which is that you recently were at the Subspectrum and you were part of the commentary team. And by all accounts, I heard good things, but tell me, what is that experience like? Because y'all were in some Hawaiian shirts and I didn't know why. I didn't know it was a Baywatch offshoot or a theme. Obviously, summer was involved, but how did that all come together, sir?
So, obviously we're going to bring the heat for the summer trials of Subspectrum. It's definitely something that I had talked with my broadcast partner, Paycheck, about a lot. Basically, as soon as the winter's trials ended, I was like, all right, so next time we need to roll with the theme. It's going to be summer. I'm thinking, Bash at the Beach 97. We got to get the Hawaiian shirts going. And my real mistake, and I know I mentioned this to you, was that I sent my fit to Jordan and Paycheck first, which basically allowed Paycheck to swoop in and just full Miami Vice it and just blew my gear out of the water. So props to him for that. And then we currently are in discussion for the fits for the commentary of the Subspectrum Nogi. What exactly is it called? The Nogi State Championships, where the winners from the winter trials will take on the winners from the summer trials. And we're just going to run down that whole card of super fights and see who the best of the best is.
When is that going down, sir? Because there are a lot of dates that are being thrown at me. And more importantly, there's also a thing that people get really into that doesn't really cross my radar, but the Olympics are apparently a thing to a bunch of people. So when is this happening?
So believe it or not, it's actually going to be August. I don't know if there's any other big jiu-jitsu August shows going on, but I assume when people talk about August and jiu-jitsu, they're talking about Subspectrum.
Do you know what August date, or is it a TBA?
No, it's August 3rd. It's the first weekend.
Okay, thank God. Because on my side of the world, I've had people tell me, they're like, hey, we got a thing. Some of the guys are fighting. And I'm like, when? They go, in August. I go, not available. They go, we didn't even tell you the date.
Yeah.
I go, just, it's not happening. Like all of August has been booked up. Now, I didn't know that was how you pronounce Anthony's last name. I always get nervous whenever I get the names, But on this particular one, this was the photo that we saw. So this was him one-upping you, and he does look like a Miami Vice drug dealer. And I have to say, I'm very proud of his contributions, though your necklace should not be overlooked. I feel like that's a good additional touch to that attire.
You know, I will say I was very proud of the puka shell necklace, but he really did not spare any detail because the white suit, blazer, pants, and shoes. I was like, man, you even got the shoes, dude. We're under the desk. Like, all right, I guess, man. I don't know if he needs it for any other extracurricular activities after the event, but that's up to him. That's not up to me. So
there are two things that are happening here. He's either going to get shot by a cartel wearing this, or he is about to be a stand-in as a stunt double for Jorge Masvidal, either of which are both welcome opportunities, I feel, for him. But yeah, I did send you a note. I was like, hey man, I'm really sorry. I thought you were going to be the top dressed here. And he snuck that one in. I felt like that was a little disingenuous. And once you told me that you actually sent the photo, I go, well, that should teach you.
I know. We're gonna run it back then in just a few weeks.
We're gonna run it.
And he did actually compete after that too. He jumped into one of the divisions not long after, so he had to take the suit off and then jump in on one of the Nogi divisions.
Oh no way! Like, so that wasn't planned at all.
The him jumping in, or
yes.
the suit.
The him jumping in. The suit had to be planned because you got to buy that.
Both were planned in advance.
Okay. I wasn't sure if he was pulling a Jeff Glover of me? What? Who? So.
Oh, trust me. If he needed to jump in at a moment's notice, I would have begged that we could still be doing commentary so I could live react to it.
All right. Well, let's get to a few things here. First and foremost, did you have yourself a nice 4th of July? What did you do? How did you celebrate your 4th of July, sir?
Absolutely. I did what any American homeowner would do. Is I went to Lowe's to go get a bunch of crap that I didn't want, and then went to a barbecue with some friends, which was the highlight then, obviously.
All right. So when we say barbecue, what are we talking? Like, good Midwest guy, tell me the full spread of what you're eating.
Well, so yeah, a lot of meats. Definitely started off with some bratwurst, kielbasa, burgers, a lot of grilled, smoked chicken. You don't officially become a Midwest dad until you have a smoker. That is kind of the rite of passage. Basically, you either have a child or you turn 35 in the Midwest, and you, as a smoker, you get a Traeger appears, and you just go, oh, all right, and you really care about it.
I mean, I'm of the age right now where I want to be grilling. I do not have the grill to grill, so I have to get very creative, and I'm in my air fryer era. So there's been a lot of that. And I have to say, there have been some magic things that I've been able to pull from the air fryer and the pressure cooker. And lo and behold, for the Super Bowl, when my wife was like, what should we do? Blah, blah. I was like, I don't know. I'm feeling ribs, but you're not going to eat them. So I'm just going to make some ribs for myself, even though we don't have a grill. And she's like, how are you going to do it? I was like, I've researched a little bit on how the pressure cooker and the air fryer can do it. And she's like, okay. And I was like, so I'm doing that. And I'm also doing wings. And I have to say, it happened. And it was delicious. And I was so surprised because I just thought of the blasphemy of using a pressure cooker to make the ribs. But it was the pressure cooker plus the air fryer together that actually made it. And I was like, a little tear happened like right here when it was really good. I was like, are you kidding me? This actually worked. So that's what you have to do 100%. Sometimes to be creative.
Yeah, science has definitely gone too far in terms of food prep. Every day we stray closer or further and further from God's grace, and we can make delicious ribs with high pressure and steam. So
understood. So let me get here with you. You looked at the board, and I know you looked at it because as soon as you hopped on the call, you were like, what is on the board? Any fear from any of the 6 topics?
Not gonna lie, I did say that total bluff. I just put my face up against it and was like, oh, I'm looking at it, and nothing changed. So, no fear.
Okay.
I think we're gonna see where fire goes. Maybe that's the most intimidating one.
Okay. All right. Where would you like to start, sir?
Let's just start with fire. Let's get it out of the way.
Fire it is. I notoriously hate fireworks. Name one thing that you hate that everyone else loves.
Oh man, there's so many. God. Okay, we're gonna go. You had me on the rant last time about people thanking me for training. This time I'm going on the rant of people posting on social media when they get stripe promotions. I know it's nice when you're a white belt and you feel like, yes, I did it. I got that piece of tape. I'm moving up in the world. And I think, you get a grace, like, okay, yeah, you could post, if you're a white belt, maybe blue belt, you get like one post like, hey, got a stripe, super thankful. If I see that on the BJJ Fanatics Facebook page, or if you're above a 2-stripe purple belt, just stop yourself.
So, full disclosure here. I have never, ever posted a promotion, a stripe. I just don't. And part of that is by design on the Grappling Hour and the Verbal Tap pages. I just always said, like, they're usually about other people or about the show in itself. Very rarely do I put up, and I'm not talking about stories. Stories are a hodgepodge of whatever the fuck I'm feeling in that second. But by and large, the overall concept is other things, comments, observations, and things about jiu-jitsu. I've been promoted in the past and people were like, you were promoted? And I go, yeah. And they're like, I didn't know. And I go, I know. And they're like, well, why wouldn't you put it up? And I go, I think it's silly. Now, granted, now I'm at a place where once brown and black start happening, I'm going to have to do it. And it bugs me because it's a certain kind of clapter that I don't love, that I know other people absolutely need to Tinkerbell themselves back to life.
Oh, 100%. I think belts you can post. Belts are great, and I don't want to be a party pooper and say, oh, you shouldn't celebrate. Like, yeah, you should. You should feel great about it. But I just feel like when you make a post, you're like, got that 3rd stripe on the brown belt. And I'm like, great. Yeah. And do you have more to tell us, or that's what we're doing? Okay.
I think it's kind of like, we saw a presidential debate where 2 old white dudes were talking about their golf score. I feel like this is kind of that, but for jiu-jitsu. So when they talk about it, it's them saying, oh, my handicap's actually a 6. I don't know if you know that. And people go, oh, no one cares unless you do golf. And if you do golf, it is very important. Like, nothing else matters. Having said all that, it's still absurdly stupid to me. And I don't even know, man. I think I've lost stripes on my belt just because of wear and tear, and I have not replaced them. And gun to head, I don't even think I know exactly where I am on this journey. I think I slid all the way back down. I think I Candyland slid back down to like the earliest part of purple belt. So if anybody ever asks what I'm ranked, I go, you know what? I don't even know, dude. I've just been doing it forever, and I should be better. So I'll apologize in advance.
I would assume you would lose a stripe every time you hit a Boston Crab anyway.
I don't think so. I think I get an extra stripe on that one, actually. If anything, like in real jiu-jitsu, I'm probably just leveled. In like WWE BJJ, I'm probably at my like real close to red belt status. So I think at some point the ghost of Stu Hart awards it to me. It's very endearing. I think people will really get behind that ceremony.
So the red belt, that's the first Universal Championship then? That's the red 1? Yeah. That's what they give you.
That's going to be what it is.
Comes out and gives it to you and everyone boos.
Oh, it's really going to be annoying. That's really going to be annoying because I could see that happening. I could 100% see somebody handing me that bullshit when I get there, and I'll have to put on a good face. All right, let me go to mine because I think I'm hearing what you're saying, and I feel like it does necessitate some more here. So we'll take the camera off of you, back to me. Okay. So the prompt for this was, of course, talking about fireworks, and that's usually the jump off point to going somewhere else. But I'm going to stay on fireworks because here's the deal. All of you guys who have fireworks, what is the appeal of this? What is the appeal of this glitter in the sky and that you need to do it at 1 a.m. in the morning here in California? I am not kidding you. My dogs thought, you know what? We did a pretty good job. It's already past midnight. You've had your fun. No. Tell that to the Hispanic families who remembered in their car they had more fireworks, and at 2 and yes, 3 a.m. are still blasting fireworks. Fireworks are dumb. If you like them, you are dumb. And guess what? When they do explode in the sky, nothing else happens. And I beg to say this, drones with lights, probably better than fireworks. Just saying. More oohs and ahs of, it's a dragon. Ooh, it's a starburst. Ooh, it's the American flag. That is how simple you are. And I pray for you.
Have you considered, though, that big thing go boom?
Always.
That's a pretty, right? Go on.
It makes me so mad. And the fact that it's never ending. And I know here in Los Angeles, we outlawed it, or some sort of law, which only incentivizes people to do it more. I just wish I loved something as much as people love fireworks, because every year I go through this whole thing, and God bless, but even my wife at one point, she's like, what do you want to do on the 4th? And I go, relax. She's like, okay, would you want to go out and do anything? And I go, think about who you're asking. Love America, very pro happy and freedom, but also you're going to say fireworks. And if you say fireworks, you know what my answer is. And she's like looking at different things to do. She's like, every one of these things is goddamn fireworks. And I go, the answer is no. And I want to say about a month and a half ago, we had some dear friends of ours who said, hey, you want to go see some fireworks? And I wanted to say no outright, but I love these people. And we went, and blissfully, these fireworks were done in 10 minutes. And I go, wait, we're done now? And they're like, yeah, we can leave now, or we can stay and drink. And I go, oh, this was the best one yet. Great. Normally these fireworks things, they go on for like 25, 20 minutes. And I go, nope, super checked out.
I will say there is definitely a point about a minute, like 90 seconds into a fireworks show where you go, all right, well, so could we just shoot them all now, or you're gonna make us wait for the finale? Because you get a couple the amuse bouche of the fireworks, you go, okay, yeah, I'm hyped up, let's send it, and then it's like, no, we're telling a story.
One of my favorite things to observe is I go, okay, I'm following along on the songs. Sounds like this one's about to end. Okay, hooray for America. Good. Oh, fuck, they just started Katy Perry's Firework. They're going to play the whole thing.
Oh, you're not going to get any complaints from me then.
I have to say that, though. I do like that song. I don't like what it prompts. So every time I hear it, I just think to myself, I go, I like the ironic version of Firework as a concept, not the reality of having to sit there and go, okay, wow, is that one supposed to be a gorilla? Okay.
But at the same time, are you thinking about how you really grew as a woman?
I also really wish more people would opt for the Teenage Dream display of fireworks. I think that would be a better choice. But also, I don't know, man. It's a sad state of America when I've got to sit there through all this. So yeah, I felt bad. My wife's just like, do you want to do anything? And I go, no. And she goes, okay. So we're going to stay home with the puppies? I go, absolutely. We stay home with the puppies. I think the one thing I realized from the smaller dog, she'll bark and she is 100% the meme that's like, hey, fireworks, they go off and they make noise. Well, what about that small dog? And I'm like, yeah, I hear you. Whatever. But this small dog is actually adorable. Fireworks lose their appeal after 2 seconds. The dog was more pissed because she's a protector dog that she couldn't go out and fight somebody about it. And that's what I respect about her. She wants to go outside and start beef with people and start attacking. And I want to let her out. Like, if anything, it's not like, ooh, fireworks, I'm scared. It's more like, yo, shut that fucking thing off. And she wants to paw at it. And I go, I kind of wish I could just let her go.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I think it's yeah, we'll have a culture war, the people versus the dogs, and we'll see where it goes.
You know, I can't wait for that to happen, because as soon as that really comes down to it, can you imagine somebody with like a gun and a dog being like, what is it going to be, man? What is it going to be? And they're just like, the dog.
Whose side are you on?
It's just so stupid. All right, man, where are we going next?
Let's keep it with dogs. Let's go dog.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Dog. After signing an endorsement deal with Impossible Foods, renowned speed eater Joey Chestnut was cut from this year's hot dog eating competition. What should the jiu-jitsu equivalent of a hot dog eating contest be?
Well, you know, I feel like the real layup answer here is just gear. Who can take the most gear and compete? And you know, for a long time that was just ADCC. So I think now it's more going to be, you know, not even just Craig taking people from ADCC, but now you got the enhanced games coming along and taking people. And you know, if there's a conflict, you never know who's got the exclusivity deal on insert athlete name here, right? And I think that could really send some waves through the community.
I like that you bring that up, because something that has occurred to me, and I don't know if you think or feel the same way too, but this trolling of Mo has been similar to what we have seen certain rappers do to other rappers. And it has only made me more entertained, where I go, how much more can Craig troll Mo? Like, obviously he's doing it with ADCC, with his own tournament. But like, what if Mo really wanted something at the grocery store and Craig showed up and bought all of it? And then you're just like, dude, I really like this creamer. This is all that brings me happiness, Craig. You know that. Don't take that away from me. And I keep thinking of all those extra opportunities that Craig could troll him that maybe we haven't seen yet.
Do you think that was a subtle, like a sneak diss, that Craig got the plastic surgeon as a as someone at CJI? Is that someone he's stealing from O2? Is that what we're trying to say?
To be honest, that really hadn't occurred or crossed my mind, but it's a very big reality. Yeah, that's a very big possibility.
Breaking news, breaking jiu-jitsu news, here on Running the Gauntlet.
I guess I didn't think of it that way, because listen, dude, I'm pretty sharp about a number of things that are for trolling. But when I went back and rewatched the Kendrick video, and in the comment section, somebody said, wow, I can't believe that Kendrick did 17 push-ups. I was like, you're lying. There's no, oh, fuck, he really did. Shit. God, that's good. God, that's really good. Somebody else puts up, they said, one of Kendrick's responses to Drake's lyrics, where he's like, I bet you have a poster of me hung up and that you're thinking about me all the time. In the background, there's a painting, a portrait that's down on the ground and turned the other way. And I go, how layered is this shit? So if anybody's going to do it, I think Craig is that person to do it. And he's already taken a Miata. So I feel like they are kindred spirits in this way. But nothing made me laugh. Go ahead.
Is that Craig's going to get down and do 19 push-ups?
I mean, the real answer should be that Craig has to do 10,001 push-ups here, I think would be more apropos. But I don't know that any human can do that or should do that. Let me give you my answer here. And it's something... Listen, when I put these things together, sometimes I think about them, sometimes I don't. This one, I definitely had a thought about, but I didn't necessarily have the right answer just yet. For example, yes, saying steroids should be the place to go is a correct answer. And now that Bryan brought it up, the more I'm thinking about the enhanced games, could you imagine the post that somebody said? if they were dropping out of ADCC for the enhanced games. You know, it's always been my dream to compete with steroids at a major event. About time somebody did it. I think the real answer here for something somebody would do in jiu-jitsu that's the equivalent of a hot dog eating contest is probably like an acai one. Now, the reason why I pause on this is I don't know how much acai you can eat that is technically healthy before you start to die. Because I don't know if you know this, but there's a lot of bad shit in acai. We just kind of bypass that because most people who eat acai are super in shape. Steroids. What are your thoughts, sir?
You know, that was kind of to me, I was looking down a forked path when you asked me that question. I'm like, all right, well, it's steroids or acai, and, are they really any different? Um, I think, the real trouble with the acai is just you get a little bit of brain freeze from your superfruit, and then that brings a whole new wrinkle into it. But you don't get the enhanced games looped in then, unfortunately. So I think they're missing that sponsor tie-in.
I guess that's the weird part about bringing this up is that if you did have acai as a eating competition, I saw one of my friends put this up, by the way, a side story. There's a dude who I think struggles to gain weight, but he's really into fitness. Good kid, like him a lot. But then he put a shit ton of hot dogs and said, let's see how many I can do. And I immediately got nervous because it's within somebody I know. It's different when it's a nameless face and they're like, Joey Chestnut. I go, I don't know that guy. Eat as many as you want, bro. But if it's within your circle of people, you do have a moment where I hope as a human you go, I don't think he should do that. I think that's a bad choice.
I do know, in a similar vein, I know a contingent of people who we've had discussions of a local place that I think gave away all you could eat hot dogs, and there was talks of, oh, we could clean them out. And I was very much on the back foot of this one. I'm like, that is not something that interests me. I don't I don't disagree. I support all of y'all in your decisions, but I don't. Yeah.
I think what it comes down to is, especially as you get a little bit older, certain choices are less than enthusiastic. Case in point, birthday about a week ago. Wife says, let's go out for all you can eat sushi at your favorite place. We haven't gone a ton since COVID. So she's like, this is for your birthday. It's your special day. And really, for me, it's just an opportunity to have good sushi. I don't think I'm a show person anymore. Like, I don't think I eat for show anymore. I think that time is gone. Nonetheless, they did put in all of these rules. Now, I think you sent me a note about the tips. And honestly, the tips aren't even where I get mad about because they automatically put a certain amount depending on what your size of the party it is. And my wife and I were the only ones there. So it's just like, all right, it's just me and her. But they put all of these new rules that they didn't used to have. And I think part of it is by COVID. For example, number one, when they show up, my wife would do non all you can eat. I would do all you can eat. This time when I showed up, I said, oh, she's on her way from work. Can I grab a table? They go, great. They go, is it all you can eat or not? And I said, oh, I'm going to do all I can eat. And she's not. And they go, no, both of you have to do one or the other. And I go, uh-oh. She is not an all-you-can-eat person, so this is going to get weird. Strike one. Strike two, they no longer do like refills of soda, which help me digest my food if I am going for a lot of extra food. So you have to buy each soda individually now, and I go, don't love that. Three, of course, they have the rules that say you have to eat most of the food or they charge you or whatever. The bigger concern here was that when they do that rule now, I asked for sashimi and they were like, what? And they totally ignored it. And I go, no, I could eat this sashimi all day, even if I didn't like some of these rolls. Like the sashimi is, you just give me part of it. Like literally just give me salmon. That's all I am. I'm a freaking SeaWorld animal. That's all I need. But I did notice one thing, which was I was like, I'm getting full off of the second round. Now, granted, we ordered like 6 things per round, but I can't do all of that anymore. So anytime I see the children do it, I go, this is you. Or I see Kyle Chambers do it. I go, what is wrong with your stomach? This is...
Yeah. Honestly, it sounds like you went to the IBJJF of sushi places. Did they like want to check your like sleeves too? Just like, hey,
bro,
you're not fitting sushi up there. We need those tighter.
I will be honest with you. There was one day I wasn't sure we were going to make it. I brought 2 of my friends. They were doing all you can eat as well. This is before they had the major rules. We were enjoying ourselves. And one of the guys hits me with a, hey man, I'm allergic to this kind of shrimp. Like, I don't really do artificial crab meat. Like, if it has shrimp in it, I'm allergic to it. I go, uh-oh, okay. And the other dude is kind of a in shape dude. So after 1 round, he goes, I'm done. And they ordered very aggressively. So it came down to this guy right here going, oh God. Oh,
all right, time for Roth to save the day.
Oh God, this is bad. By the time we started getting toward the end, I had to get creative where I took out part of like the roll, separated it, would eat the meat, try to get a little bit of the rice in. And I saw the waitress doing this look like, okay, we got away with it. They didn't charge us extra. But it was the most... I looked at myself in the mirror. I had to go to the bathroom and I was like, you fucking have to pull yourself together, Esparza. This is all riding on you.
She was looking at you going, all right, well, next time he comes in, he's getting the secret rules menu.
I don't care if it's his goddamn birthday. He better fucking earn it the next time. And we will forget his sashimi. Probation. Now that you bring that up. But you know what the dumb part is? It made me think, I'm like, is this really my birthday place now? Like, it made me a little sad in that way where I go, no, I don't want to lose a birthday place because I like that. Having said that, I felt so fucking fat that night. And one of the guys who writes, like, I'm doing like a little bit of a strength and conditioning program. One of the guys who writes it, I like tell him what I'm eating. And I told him, I'm like, hey man, we did a good job making weight. Felt really good. It's going away. And he goes, no, it doesn't have to go away. And I go, it's birthday and 4th of July, man. There's no way. And he goes, it doesn't have to be if you walk and you do these things. And I go, no, bro, I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I know me. I know what I'm going to be around. And I know I want it. So I'll catch you in 2 weeks when I'm a normal person again.
That's not very all about that grind set of you. So
yep. And if you know anything about me wanting to do anything strength and conditioning, it is fortunate that I even acknowledge the program they write for me, because sometimes I'm looking at it and I go, I'm not doing that. Nope, that's wishful thinking. All right, sir, where are we going next?
We're gonna do this in a little bit of a loop. Let's go down the dot.
Okay, dot it is. Prompt is as follows. Kendrick Lamar has shown he is a master of trolling, holding the pop out on Juneteenth and releasing the video for Not Like Us on Independence Day. What holiday will he ruin next for Drake?
Ooh, that's a good one. What do we got coming up? You know, we're going into the summer. We got back to school. That can always be a good one, you know. The back to school sales, playing the Kids Bop version of Not Like Us, or just the part of Euphoria that calls Drake a deadbeat dad. Because that's the ironic thing, is that Drake wouldn't even know that they're playing it because he doesn't know where the school section is. He doesn't have to do that for his kids. So let's go with the Kohl's back to school sale. I think that's going to be the next soft spot they're going to dig in.
I'm glad that's where you went, because I'll get straight into mine here in just a second. But I do want to kind of bring this up, which is, it is remarkable that Kendrick did this like that, because here I am celebrating 4th of July and I see the music video go up and I think, oh, you son of a bitch. I should have expected it. It was my fault. I didn't think it would be on 4th of July. Because where else are we going to be around friends and family where one of us might just be on our phone and go like, oh, new Kendrick. Oh, shit, it dropped. Yeah, I totally should have known. I knew, I did know because Juneteenth. Yeah, I did know. I knew that was going to happen because, it was going to do the black one and then the white one. Yeah, we got this. So when I saw that,
I was gonna say, even more importantly, is that where's Drake gonna be hanging out with friends and family? And someone goes, "Oh God, someone's gonna tell him." Oh boy.
So there was this report that Drewski at the BET Awards went up to somebody who was playing, like a DJ was playing, not like us, and tried telling them, you can't play that here. And everybody goes, this is Los Angeles, sir. We're going to play whatever the fuck we want. And it got me thinking, I love how there is this street mentality of like, you don't play that here. You don't disrespect us like that. I go, it's a #1 record, dude. It might get played. It's just the way it goes. And you kind of have to deal with it. I think you can't make intimidation a factor when in reality, somebody's going to record it now and somebody's going to put it up. And Drewski having zero ability to get into somebody's face and be like, you stop doing that right now. And it's like, or what, dude? You're the comedy guy that we all know because of Drake. Right? Is that the only reason we know you? You're a GIF. I've seen your GIF, but I don't know what you do other than that.
Yeah, it's wild. Kendrick, it's something that, I've obviously known about Kendrick for a long time. I listened to a lot of his big songs. And then once he started going after Drake and myself being kind of a big like punk and metal fan, I was just like, this is the level of hating that I live for. Like, oh my, I just put it in my veins. Like, let's go. Who else don't you like? Let's go find some more people. Like, we could do this to everybody. It's the level that I aspire to be one day.
Let me give you my version real quick. This was Dot right there. Camera off of you, onto me. Let's just say this. Somebody put this in the comment section on one of the posts I was reading, because basically, as soon as the video dropped, I went to Black Twitter and I said, please, Black Twitter, give me your best jokes. And they were all amazing. But somebody said, after hitting Juneteenth, after hitting 4th of July, Canadian Independence Day looking real nervous right now, because that's probably when he's going to drop an album at this point. And if you are Drake, are you sitting at home wondering like, hey, bro, can I just enjoy Thanksgiving this year? Like, it'd be really cool if I could just not worry about Canada Day or Boxing Day or whatever day that we do here in the Canada. I just love the fact that all of this is happening, and I hope it becomes a holiday celebration, because I'm really looking forward to the Black Friday version of whatever Kendrick has in store.
Oof, and that'll be good, because if it's Black Friday, Drake can't really celebrate it, right?
I mean,
I think that was one of the things he mentioned.
Hey, you can say whatever you want. I'm in the most neutral place possible. I've just been enjoying what has come from all of this, which is occasionally seeing something go up where I go, well, I can't say that, but that's a funny joke. And I would love to karaoke Not Like Us. However, there are too many bombs in there that I feel like, that's where rap would be canceled. Like, that would be the moment where I slip up and I go, but it's the lyric. I'm sorry.
I think that it, much like a Kids Bop version, there needs to be like a Caucasian version of Kendrick songs.
Not even a radio edit. Just a regular friendly version that everybody could say. Because sometimes I have in the past been like, you could put people there, right? Or other words, not that one. And then I always think like, all right, all of us minorities, we get to say our R one. So like, can I throw the word spick in there as like my version? And then it just doesn't work. So I definitely have tried.
I mean that's what I'm saying. Like, can you imagine a white version of it where they're just
No.
like, hey, you just replace it with like buffoon or something? Like, hey, you scallywag.
I did hear a teacher do a version of Not Like Us for their kids class, and it was adorable. But I also said, that's the shit that would make me nervous about getting fired from that school district. So props to that lady for getting this through. I should mention this. The photo that you have hanged behind you, it does look adorable, but is that someone on your shoulders right there?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. What prompted that to happen, sir?
So to go give a little history lesson here, is the ending scenes of the Subspectrum All Stars, which I believe was in January of 2023. We had our team of five against the team of five here from the west side of Iowa. Um, Basically, in a little bit of a quintet Survivor Series style match. My boy Mock here uh, went on a tear and eliminated three of their guys, basically allowing our last guy to just kind of stall his way out, which he did expertly, I should say. And so that got us the win, and we were all we got out there and we're like, all right, well, Mock, get up here. You did a lot of the work.
So let me get this straight. You just mentioned something, and I would be remiss to not kind of put the connection together. There's a west side of Iowa. Is this similar to what we have here in California when we say west side?
I bet there are a lot of similarities. You guys have a lot of like corn and just air turbines and stuff, right?
Yep,
Because
that's
I think then there's a lot of cultural crossover there.
It's just my California ire went up a little bit when you're like, oh, well, this is the west side of Iowa. And I go, what about the west side?
I'm telling you, that's what if you could
No, I
zoom in
understand.
and
I
enhance up
understand.
here,
It's just
we're the east side.
I calmed down shortly thereafter. It's just I didn't want there to be a civil war and that somebody near and dear to us on the podcast like you would suddenly be on the wrong side of the war. I'm just trying to make sure that you don't get shot, sir.
I'm just saying. Well, clearly we have our own colors that we represent as well. We're really neck deep in it out here. In the cornfield. So it doesn't get talked about enough, but I'm sure there'll be a documentary on it in a few years and
In the
the
future,
violence that it
I'm
caused.
sure they will 100% get to it. All right, sir, where are we going next?
All right, let's hit reboot.
Reboot it is. Prompt for reboot goes as follows. This week, Beverly Hills Cop 4 hit Netflix for free. What is the movie that's not asking for a sequel that you wouldn't mind entertaining?
Interesting. So it's surprising that I guess it's not surprising that it would come out on Netflix for free because that's the only way you would ever see it.
Watch it.
But I think let's go down that same kind of path. I'm thinking comedies from the 80s. They've never rebooted Ghostbusters, have they? Because I feel like there's some money in that. And maybe we could change it up. Maybe we could do it with like an all-female cast, or just get the new up-and-coming younger comedians. That might be a way to do it. Or even we could do it as a cartoon. That also might be a place that we could break some new ground there.
Get out of here. Good
I'm just kidding. It should be all VR.
All. By the way, we have your boss over here, Jordan Jitsu, coming to say hello. He says, "A." So good to see you, Jordan. I hope all is well. We'll be plugging your event shortly. But, it's funny. I actually just watched Ghostbusters Frozen Empire yesterday. And, it existed. I just put it this way. I can't hate it. It was mildly amusing. I might have been cooking and doing other stuff. So I was kind of like, yeah, sure, why not? But it had Bill Murray. And even the girl version had Bill Murray. And I just think to myself, if you get Bill Murray to show up, I can't spend time hating you. Like, it's one thing if it's not good, or maybe you didn't enjoy it. But to have that much venom and spend time thinking about it, because maybe I didn't love Girl Ghostbusters as much as I could have. I didn't hate it. I just said like, oh, okay. When people are like the sanctimoniousness of this, can you believe that they would defile the Ghostbusters legacy? And I'm like, it didn't Dan Aykroyd get a fucking blowjob from a ghost? Like, all of you can chill on the jokes and how it resonates. It's just Ghostbusters in 80s, super cool. Y'all bitched about the 89 version, and guess what? That shit looks like Citizen Kane right now. So shut the fuck up. Everybody just enjoy what you enjoy or don't. And if you don't, relax.
That's what I was going to say. Where you're like, we can't, the sanctimonium. I'm like, you guys have seen Ghostbusters too, right? Like, it's about a painting. It's an evil painting.
Hey, yo, Vigo is really dangerous. And also, I'd like to point this out. Ghostbusters 2 with Bobby Brown's On Our Own, that is better than regular Ghostbusters theme song. I know some of you may not like to hear it, but On Our Own, superior song. Why? Bobby Brown not only hitting R&B and heart and soul, dancing their asses off in that video, but he hits a note that I like to call crack addict minor, which it's like toward the end of the song, and it's just like, we got. And I'm like, wow, I hear every part of it. If he wasn't Bobby Brown, I thought he would be asking me for some crack. And lo and behold, all these years later, it's like, he kind of might have been. And then there's the rumor on the MTV Video Music Awards when he was performing that a little baggie of something popped out of his pants and hit the floor. And I go, man, I was pretty perceptive as a kid. I didn't think that was 100% true, but it is. And listen, I'm very glad that it is. And by the way, Jordan just says he loves the framed photo behind you. And see, I think it's a great addition there, sir. We just commissioned a painting to go on the side here. And I don't know if people know this, but we also have this that's going to be going up very soon that I very much love. And if you know where it's from, you know where it's from. And if you don't, I'm not going to tell you. So very excited about those two new additions that'll be coming up sooner than later. But I think yours definitely, it begs people to be like, well, tell me about Subspectrum. I don't know more about it. So I think it's a very good addition to the office there, sir.
I am, if not anything, a shill. So,
well, speaking of shill, let me answer this question and let me see if I can get people to understand where I'm coming from. Okay, so if we're talking about rebooting things that didn't need to be really put back on, I think my first answer, and I think they've been trying to do it, but it's Masters of the Universe. Because they did a He-Man back in the 80s, and Courtney Cox was in it, and it wasn't very good. But as a kid, you kind of gave it a pass. You just didn't give it money. And I think they were one of the first ones to kind of do that Marvel credits teaser kind of thing. Like, they showed that Skeletor was still alive. I beg in this day and age that something like that might do better. Porky's might be something that you could revisit, but this is going to get lost with PC culture. But you know what could work? I'd like to see Police Academy get a real reboot, because they're already doing Police Squad, so why not bring both police things back? Steve Guttenberg has nothing to do, so bring him back in there too.
I think that brings up an even more important question is, what is Michael Winslow doing? Because we have much needed some just full verbal sound effects in our movies, much like the Greek chorus I mentioned earlier. I need someone to just fully play all parts of A Whole Lot of Love strictly vocally.
It is weird because this question has a little bit of an issue in that when you start thinking about things that they should reboot, your brain is going to all the things that you just heard they are rebooting. So when they were mentioning certain things, I go, right, they already reboot the Karate Kid. They're doing it again. So there's going to be a new Karate Kid plus the Cobra Kai finishing out. They're going to be in the same universe, apparently. Of course. Great. And then you start thinking like Police Squad. I love Police Squad, which was the Naked Gun. And they're going to do another one with Liam Neeson. And it's Seth MacFarlane. I think he helped produce it and co-wrote it. And one of the guys from Lonely Island, Akavia, I think he's directing it. So there's that. Spaceballs. They're doing a number 2 which the search for more money is something I've always wanted in this life. And then I got what I wanted, but it has Josh Gad, and it makes me very nervous because I don't want Josh Gad to be in it. And I can respect him in different areas, but I just think to myself, I'm like, I hold this near and dear to my heart. So if you fuck this up, it may be an unforgivable circumstance.
See, this is a rougher time for you because in the 2020s, this nostalgia goes in like 20-year cycles. So now that we're about halfway through the 20s, it's like, all right, early 80s, what happened? Let's redo that. Where I spent the last 10 years just getting Power Rangers and blockbuster callbacks and like, oh, you guys remember the 90s? And I'm like, stop. Yes, purple ketchup. Yep, Pizza Hut. We're all there. Like, yeah, we know.
But let's be real. Like, the Power Rangers deserve a real reboot. And I thought when they had Bryan Cranston, they had a real shot at it. And I saw the movie and I go, oh, okay. It maybe this can't be done, but it feels like it should be able to because it's a property that resonates with people. Maybe I just need a Voltron. Maybe that's what I need. Because
they remade Voltron.
I know, and I know one of the guys who did
good. It. To be honest, it was good.
It was good. I did like it, but I'm talking about like even as a kid, I wanted a live action Voltron. I just knew at the time we didn't have the graphics. We should have the graphics. And it says, "Do you want to build a Death Star?" Darth Olaf. Oh my God, no. Oh, he's got me thinking about that
it's
now.
Coming.
Jesus,
it's coming.
God. And you just mentioned, but it had Dolph for He-Man. It did. But, you know, Dolph, the nice part about all this nostalgia rebuild is you get time to miss people, which makes you forget about all the shit that they're really bad at. So Dolph was not necessarily a great actor, but when he showed up in The Expendables, it's like, and legendary Dolph Lundgren. And I go, yes. He was in Rocky IV, so that does make him legendary. Are we just not going to talk about the parts where he wasn't that good at acting? Or that he was?
But that's what I'm saying. Like in the 20-year cycles, because now it's going to be cool and self-referential to get stuff from the 2000s, and so we're going to get a cameo in the next Batman movie with Val Kilmer, and everyone's going to go, oh, and we'll be like, no, stop,
listen,
stop.
Hold on. Val Kilmer already did that ticket. He was in the most recent Top Gun. And you know what? They used him very well. But I'm so worried about Val Kilmer. I just want him to be okay. And especially if you've seen the documentary about him, it intense. So it is a lot to take in here. Man, I don't want to get sad. So we're going to go to our next topic. Sir, where are we going next?
Going ask.
Ask it is. Bryan, you're a black belt. What is the right way to approach you for a role?
All right, and I know people might think this is going to be controversial based on my previous statements, but I'm going to act it out here real quick. Oh, hey, you want to roll? And that's it. I don't need anything else. I am there to train just like everybody else is. I don't need you to bow to me. I don't need you to call me professor. I don't need any of the showmanship or anything like that. And I don't need you to be like, oh, hey, thanks so much for training with me, or oh, did you let me work? Because you don't need to thank me. And yes, I did. And so it's all good. We're all just training. We're not here keeping score. We're not here trying to win. Practice, and you don't need to be afraid of black belts. You should just ask them, hey, do you want to train this round? Because I don't want to sit out.
So let me get this straight. We're not supposed to keep score?
I mean, I do, but like that's just because I win.
Of course.
And if I lose, I just stop keeping score, and then who knows what happened.
You with your Etch-a-Sketch version of scorekeeping, like, nope.
Well, it's usually because someone's shaking me up, and then I'm like, oh, I guess.
I will say, is it Joanna that you have passed my way? And on her Instagram, she revels in you being miserable or people beating you up.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's a pretty common sentiment, I think.
Why is it? And have you ever wondered why?
I just suck as a human. You know what it is? I just I love doing trolley moves. It's so fun. I'm big on wrist locks. I love catching people with wrist locks, and I do it a lot. The last 3 weeks, I've been doing almost exclusively A blocks from reverse close guard, and I'm getting them. So like, it's not like oh, Brian's trying some dumb stuff that he's doing. Who knows what he's doing? I'm like, no, I'm catching them, and people hate it, and I would hate it too. If someone did it to me, I'd be like, I hate you so much. But that's like all the moves that I take is if someone does it to me, and I'm like, wow, that made me inexplicably mad. I'm gonna start doing that to people. um, yeah, that's where this is a game. It's a game that we train. It's like when you talk trash when you're playing like a fighting game or like Smash Brothers or something, and you just like completely decimate somebody. You're gonna go and just clown on them, and that's what I like to do in training.
I understand that, and that's fine. You're first of all, don't ever give me mess about hitting a Boston Crab ever again. Like, all you're doing is hitting spammed wrist locks at people, and I think to myself, I'm like, okay, that does inform me how you roll, so it does tell me in the future what to look out for. I don't know that I can stop it in all ways, but it is very entertaining to see. And it says, if you're not already hitting people with scissor chokes, you should, Brian. So that was
I actually did one.
Jordan Jitsu.
I actually did one to Joanna a couple days ago because it was there, and I was just like, well, she's a lot smaller than I am, so I think if I give this a little gas, it'll just work no matter what.
I'm glad that you were bringing that one up here, Jordan. Let me go to give my response here real quick, and then we'll circle back to the end of that. But my response is as follows here, and it would be 4. Ask. So here's the thing. This is a black belt. This is not. This is a purple belt. So I should be more accessible. I'm not, though. My time's a little more valuable than you think it is here, kids. So if you are going to come up and ask me for a roll, yeah, sure. You should just say, hey, Raph, can I get a roll? But you need to start with a little bit more of a better opening line. Don't just hit me with that. Because I'll say no. I will occasionally be like, nah, I'm not feeling it. You should open up with an offer like, hey, Raph, I've heard your latest episode of the Grappling Hour, and it was my favorite episode yet. And I'll probably look at you and say, why was it your favorite? What was your favorite part? And depending on how you answer that is how I'll decide if I roll. Now, there's an upside in that. If you did answer very good and you really had a specific part of the show you liked, you might actually submit me. You just might not have earned it. That's all. Many people.
What happens? I was going to ask, what happens if they say, oh, I really love the clip that you put exclusively on the Patreon?
Listen, dude, they're probably they'll hit me with a Boston Crab. They won't even know how they did it. We do have a rule here on the show, which is if you subscribe, you do tend to get more moves on me than most people who do not. And there are a couple guys. I would not say this unless it was 100% true, but it has happened. And I don't know why, because it should not be a notch as to submitting me. I think I am fairly easy to submit. And yet there are people who will watch me roll with people who are subscribers or who I know who are Patreon users, and they'll have good rolls with me and they'll catch me with something and they'll come up to me and they'll be like, why did they catch you? And I was like, well, what are you talking about? They're like, I saw what you were doing. They caught you too easy. I can't catch you. And I go, well, maybe you're not that good. They go, no, I know I'm better than that dude. I catch that dude all the time. How did that happen? I go, oh, they subscribed to my show. If you did, I would too.
I think I should just start doing that and have like a little like tip screen that comes up before the round, and depending on what it is, just like the number of wrist locks exponentially decreases.
It's one of those things where you say, would you like to tip your black belt, and you like swerve it around? They have to do that awkward like oh, okay, I think I should. I think if you do that, I think that would be a very, very smart thing. Plus, dude, y'all black belts should be running for extra money at all times, because Lord knows you're not making enough as is. So I think that's a good way to play it. Sir, we have one last topic here. Should I just press the button and get to it?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Summer it is. Chet Hanks recently had to clarify his intentions for White Boy Summer. If we are to lose White Boy Summer, what should we replace it with?
Oh man, I didn't know White Boy Summer was going away. I gotta
It's not,
update my
it's going
calendar.
away, dude.
I, you know what? This is based on some thoughts I was having before this podcast. But you know, I think it's time to bring back uh, the Juggalo Summer. We're talking about rebooting stuff from the '90s. We are gonna bring the Insane Clown Posse back. We got the Juggalo revival. You know, we're gonna be sitting outside. We're gonna be drinking Fago. Super hydrating. It's got a lot of sugar, so it's got a lot of electrolytes. And then other than that, just drinking cheap beer, and you got your big baggy shirt and shorts that'll kind of help ventilate everything. Plus,
Hmm?
if this is for white boys, we're talking outside in the sun. All that paint, that's gonna stop that melanoma, my guy.
This is how I know we do a good job here on the show. We were able to give you breaking news about Chet Hanks having to be like, guys, White Boy Summer has been co-opted. And I don't stand for what you think it stands for. I stand for it, the purest version of White Boy Summer. And I thought, what a good guy there, Chet Hanks. What a good save. Um, you did mention something, and it did get me thinking. What are the Juggalos' names? Like, what are the main guys from
The
the Insane
two,
Clown Policy?
it's. I mean, I can't believe a wrestling fan like you aren't up to date on the goings on of
Hold
Shaggy
on,
Two
hold
Dope
on.
and Violent J.
Okay. I do know those things, but I had to hear the names because I've heard so many dumb iterations of people who are juggalos that I go, are those real names? Did I just like hallucinate these things from the 90s? So what are their names again?
It's Shaggy Two Dope, obviously with a number two, and then Violent J is the bigger one.
So what did they do now? Like, what you would probably have more of an idea of what they're up to. To me, they sometimes exist in the peripheral of the wrestling world and then occasionally come in, but I don't know their day to day. So like, what do they do now?
I'm not gonna. I'm honestly not sure. I'm assuming they're still working out how magnets work. But you know, they really had like they're definitely underground at this point. I don't know if that's figurative or literal, but neither would surprise me if that is the case.
Very good. All right. Well, we did make our way through the entire board, and I always like to give an opportunity to the guest to try and give me a topic to see if I have a hot take that I didn't know I had in me, or that you feel like you have something or a topic that we didn't cover today that maybe is worth examining. So, is there anything that you have on your side of the world that you would like to ask this way, sir?
Did you not have an opinion on White Boy Summer? Is
Well,
that
I do.
like
You know what? Hold on. Okay. I'm trying to make sure we get you out on time. Number
that's
two,
fair, that's fair.
I will give you a very quick version of mine. All right, since you get this. All right, take the camera off you, onto me. We're gonna do Super Spick Summer. Super Spick Summer is basically where you just cholo yourself out for about a good 2 hours, depending on how cold the Modelo's are, and you basically get a lowrider, and it's really good food. I'll tell you that much because I think I started thinking that way when I realized I wanted a burrito this morning, but the good burrito place, it was already closed. And I was like, damn, dude. That's how you know it's a good burrito place is they stop serving by like 10:30. And I thought about it at 10:45 and I go, that one's on me. So that's the one. Yes, that is what I had in mind. I wasn't sure how much you wanted to hear the word spick on this when you go back and do it. But I was like, I can get away with that one. That's the one I can do. So
Fair enough.
what is your question, sir?
Okay, so if anyone's been following your social media, we've been anxiously awaiting your reviews of the Apple
Oh
Top
God.
100 albums of all time. I know we're a little strapped for time, so I would like you to give me your top five albums of all time, your personal top five.
Oh, tight. Okay, that's great. I like that. So that would imply that some of my tops will not be in the Apple 100. There are a handful that I like deeply love. Like,
I mean, one would assume that Apple's top 100 would span the breadth of all good music, but you know.
you would think that, but there are some in here that I go, oh, I don't want to listen to that one. Like, I looked at that list and I know it's going to be a rough day, but I'm all about it. Both Jacksons need to be represented. So there's going to be Mike with Thriller, Janet, Velvet Rope. And then if you're going to go into different genres, I've looked at it and I saw that they had Pac in there with All Eyes on Me. So I'm really looking forward to getting around to that. But they had it lower than Biggie's, I think, Ready to Die, which I would not. I'd almost reverse that. I'm trying to think. I'm also weird. Like, yeah, I'm a product of two 80s siblings. So, like, there's one that's not on there. I think what I'm getting to is the ones that aren't on there that bug me. Like, Octoon Baby by U2 is an incredibly good album. I really like that one. And then you got to start pulling out ones that you know for sure other people will not have. I think I would go DJ Shadow Introducing. I love that album so hard. And then for a fifth slot, I've covered R&B. I've covered pop. I've covered alternative. And I've covered... What's the other one? I kind of almost need... decent genre that's outside. Like, yeah, I mean, Rage Against the Machine was a really solid one. They didn't have Evil Empire, and we talked about this very briefly. I just like Evil Empire is a different thing, but I want to get something a little bit more surprising. What is like one of my can't miss albums? Let's just say this. If I were to pick a certain artist that I really fucking love, yeah, we're coming up on 2 minutes left. You know what's really funny is the album I just listened to recently is the George Michael Listen Without Prejudice, and I'm ready to go on a rant that is the wrong George Michael album to include for that list because it should be Faith. Listen Without Prejudice has all these like beautiful little ballads that I go, I guess he's more artistic here. And then I re-listen to Faith and I go, no, this is the one that's supposed to go here. So like all my brain has been thinking of the past day has been listening to the like George Michael collection and being like, nope, I'm right. It's Faith. It's 100% Faith. These people don't know what they're doing. So I've just been stuck in that gear. But like George Michael to me, same with U2, where I grew up thinking like, ooh, those are my sister's bands. They can't be cool. And then when I started listening to them, I was like, actually, they're really good. So those are the two. Lauryn Hill's a very good number one. I would give props to that one. Let's just say 4, and I'll give you the 5th one later. But those are kind of 4 that I think are universally like stuff that I always go to. It's bugging me.
Respectable.
Yeah, it's bugging me. I can't give you the 5th because it's weird. I feel like certain bands belong to other people and not me. And
yeah, I'll give you my 5, and then
Please.
you could steal one.
Okay.
We're gonna go American Idiot by Green Day. Just super instrumental in my teenage years. We're gonna have Nightmare by Avenged Sevenfold. Hit their stride. Half is just great Avenged Sevenfold metal. The other half is just incredible misery about them mourning the death of their drummer. It's incredible. Let's go 3. Enter the Wu-Tang. Tremendous. Just every song is a bop and it's great. 2, I'm gonna do These Days by Bon Jovi, because it's Bon Jovi's attempt at a grunge album, and it's honestly like it's great. It's got a lot of ballads, but like it's like, wow, Bon Jovi's mad. What is this? And then number 1, I gotta put Ride the Lightning by Metallica, just because it's the king. That's how
fair.
you'd make a metal album.
I realized my 5th. It's Prince, and it's Purple Rain.
There you go.
Because you know what the hard part is? I felt like in the 80s, you had to either be a Prince or a Michael person. And that's not the case. Like, you don't have to really be either of them. Like, they're both legends, and they're both, like, putting them in the same sentence is weird because Prince could play instruments on top of all the stuff that he did, and Michael just was an instrument. So it's kind of like, yeah, they can both exist. So yeah, very, very heavy R&B and what you call it, influence. That's why when I'm like grunge and like, yeah, I love, Pearl Jam. I love Soundgarden. I love like all these different bands. I even love like Elton John's Yellow Brick Road. I go, but not quite there. Like, they're all in that conversation. Well, sir, let's do this. Let's do a nice little plug for all the stuff you would like to go ahead and give shout outs to. So this is you. This is the camera on you. Shout out what you need to, sir.
All right, let's shout out my gear sponsor, Nation Athletic. They got, some streetwear too. Speaking of Metallica, they got the Murder Yoga shirt, and on the back, I believe it says "And Jiu-Jitsu for All." You probably can't see it, but that's okay. They're great. Go buy their stuff. It's really cool. Shout out to Subspectrum. They got the Nogi State Championships coming up August 3rd. So you will have your feed inundated with my sultry tones as I call the action for those. And then just shout out to my gym, Tipping Point in Cedar Rapids. We have an awesome seminar coming up. I think it's next weekend with Andy Murasaki. So that is going to be absolutely incredible. So if you're in the Iowa area and able to go to that, come check out the page and pay up and come learn from one of the best out there.
I do appreciate the pay up part. There's nothing quite like telling people like, hey, come check out this seminar, but you motherfuckers better pay. God damn it.
Well, it was like, hey, you guys should come. There actually is a thing you have to pay to get in. I don't want you to just show up.
It's not that you're saying don't come, and it's not that you're saying, hey, I don't want you guys to just assume anything. It was the like, hey, it's open to all. We love you all. It's also open to your paychecks. So make sure you take out your wallet and you pay these people.
Listen, Mo, we want to pay the athletes, okay? We don't want Andy coming out here doing this for free, okay?
I want to point this out. This is going to be the only time in Grappling Hour history anybody's ever going to put me and Mo in the same sentence in the same way together. I promise you that. Bryan, you're always so much fun. You know what? You are the first guest to be brought on twice for Running the Gauntlet. We see you as a recurring here. You don't need to pose on them. You don't need to do any of that. But you always have great takes. You are an incredible part of this show. I cannot thank you enough. And I'm sure we'll be bringing you back on very, very soon, sir. So thank you for all of your time here today.
Yeah, no problem. You know how I feel about being thanked, so.
Listen, you gotta fucking eat it. There's no such thing as getting away here. I could literally, you know what I could do? I could literally take a screenshot of you, even if you exited out of the room, and it would be like people think that you were still on it the entire time. So just make sure you're there. Sir, thank you very much for being on. I'm gonna close this bitch up, but thank you very much for all of your help here, sir. All right, guys, problem. That's going to do it for us here at Running the Gauntlet. It has been a great installment. Few reminders. If you want to support the show, head on over to patreon.com/grappling hour. Check our interviews 30 days before anybody else. And for a few extra dollars, you can see the extra bonus content that's not available anywhere else. You can also like, comment, and subscribe. If you don't know what you want to comment on right now, what we will ask for you to tell us is in the comment section, what property from the past would you like to reboot right now? We gave you some, and I know you guys might have a few different ideas, but tell us those ideas in the comment section as you also like and subscribe. It always means the world to us here at the show. Additionally, you can also find us on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. We are adding audio episodes from our catalog onto there every single day, so keep your eyes and ears out for that. And the last thing, you can join us on our Discord at Grappling Hour. We are putting back up the questions of the day. We're just not doing them on the weekend. Like, it was a long weekend, so we'll be back at work with them on Monday. And next week, we'll be back with another installment of Running the Gauntlet and an episode of The Bullpen, and we'll have the premiere of our good friend Eddie Bernal on the YouTube for free 99. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us here at the Grappling Hours, Running the Gauntlet. It's been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mat.